Hi everybody, this is Blossom, and today we take a look at the Blackthorn or Straif. But first, you see, today is the first day that we have snow here. So I took my camera outside just because I love snow, so you will see a few impressions here. However, so we can find Blackthorn during the dark side of the year, so right now. The letter is Z or double S. The animals associated with it is wolf, black cat or toad, and the color is bright purple. Now let's go into the lore and legends. The Blackthorn features in many Irish stories, often as a metaphor for destructive ability of a warrior or for death itself. Sometimes it appears as a symbol of transformative vision of death and even of sacrifice. In the tales of Fionn, Sabd eats loaves from the Blackthorn and becomes pregnant from it, bearing a son who has a lump on his head. This lump is a snake that can be killed in compensation for another man's life. This theme is repeated in the Lays of Fionn, where in the poem The Sword of Oscar, slows are again mentioned connected with someone dying on behalf of another. Blackthorn is associated with death, battle and transformation, which can be seen in the three colors found in it. The white color of spring, symbolizing the beautiful and life-giving and transformative aspect, the black fruit of autumn or the black bark, which symbolizes death and destruction, and the red sap, which represents blood. These associate Blackthorn with the triple goddess, and the tree is thus especially sacred to the Irish goddess Morrigan, who oversees matters of war, death, and sexuality. Blackthorn is one of the first trees to blossom at the end of winter, before its leaves have even unfurled. This associates it with the crone or dark goddess, but also with fertility and endurance over tough circumstances. This sort of relationship with the goddess as crone, the sometimes cruel, testing side of her, is balanced by her loving, beneficent side and her sexuality. Connected to magicians and sorcerers, Blackthorn cautions that access to the other world and its magical powers require clarity, caution, experience, and an awareness of the dangers as well as its blessings. To witches, the Blackthorn often represents the dark side of the craft. It is a sacred tree to the dark or crone aspect of the triple goddess and represents the waning and dark moons. Blackthorn is known as the increaser and keeper of dark secrets. Blackthorn was also often used for binding and blasting. A black rod is a blackthorn wand with fixed thorns on the end, used to cause harm to others. In British folklore, a witch will use a blackthorn in rituals of cursing. Then the sharp thorns were used by witches to pierce puppets in their curses, called the pins of slumber. In South Devon folklore in England, witches were said to carry blackthorns walking sticks, with which they caused much local mischief. Witches and heretics were burned on blackthorn pyres, and the devil was said in medieval times to prick his followers' fingers with the thorn of a blackthorn tree. Now, you can find a lot of blackthorn wands and stuff. Whenever you go visit England, if you would, go to Cornwall, Boscastle more exactly, and visit the Witchcraft museum there. There you can find all different sorts of relics from witches and witchcraft in general, and it's really interesting, and I was quite impressed with that little museum, to be honest. So moving on. There is a strong connection in Celtic lore between the underworld, the dead and the fairy races. In Irish, the word she means ancestor, fairy or hollow hill, the latter referring to the burial mounds in which the fairies were said to dwell. These burial mounds also function as entry points into the other world. Because of this connection, blackthorn is a popular wood for calling up the fairy wild hunt. The fairy wild hunt. The fairy raid of the horned god and his hounds to gather lost souls and bring them to the realm of the dead. Straif or Straif is connected to the Leananchi and also associated with the goddess Ain and the Banshee. The Leananchi are protective of the blackthorn tree and they will not allow any wood to be cut from it without permission, and never at the sacred fairy times of Beltane and Samhain. And let's go to the magical uses. So blackthorn is used for purification as well as protection and ridding the atmosphere of negative energy. As we saw before, blackthorn wands are extremely powerful, but only safe when used by those with extreme clarity and experience, as the energies they invoke are really not controlled, but rather allied with, and only when justly in need. When you use blackthorn, be sure you work with the highest intent, lest the blackthorn turns against you. Before you work with blackthorn, it is recommended to learn the lessons of Nettle, the broom of fern that we saw the last week. So learn this lesson beforehand so you have a good energetic and magical hygiene, clarity of purpose, and experience with responsibly wielding the power the blackthorn may grant you if you are worthy. Meditating on blackthorn can purify our minds of negative thoughts and impulses at the deepest level of our psyche. It can aid us in combating fear, depression, and anger. The thorns of the blackthorn can be imagined to lance the built-up abscess of negative thoughts and release the emotional toxins, which can then begin to heal. Using the gentler sister tree, hawthorn, in conjunction with blackthorn can aid the process of healing, and you can find the hawthorn in my playlist if you want to have a look at it again. Traditionally, blackthorn is used in protection against evil, creating boundaries, a bit like the blackberry, but blackberry is more gentle than here the blackthorn. It is also used in purifying, as we saw, and confronting our own dark side. Blackthorn dispels negativity, toxins, old wounds, and impurities. It can also be used in exorcism. It is associated with chthonic and protective deities. Use the dried wood, thorns, and berries in an herbal incense to banish negativity and in ceremonies of purification. If the malicious influences are very strong, burn the incense for 7 days at noon and midnight. You can use blackthorn boughs and burn them as an offering to the sun at winter solstice. It's not long anymore until the winter solstice, so this may be useful for you. And this is a sign of the end of the reign of the Winter King Gwyn ap Nuth here, who is the lord of the Celtic underworld. You can also use it to honor the wild hunt at Samhain, particularly to help guide on those who have passed from life to death, but may have difficulty doing so. Now, for the healing properties. As a vibrational essence, Blackthorn is a remedy for the depths of despair. It is also especially effective for warding off any perceived dark, negative, or evil energies, and helps to make an end to repetitions and begin from scratch. It removes the old and unnecessary. It can be used to bring about change from hardened, ossified circumstances. It gives the strength to deal with karmic issues and to heal the shadow side of our natures. It brings light to those stuck in severe darkness. It heals trauma and soul damage. It helps in contacting the wild spirit of nature. Reconnecting with this energy restores our natural state and vital well-being. For the rest, you can use the fruit to make jams and jellies. And herbally, blackthorn flowers and fruit are both tonic, and an infusion of either the flowers or the fruit is useful for stomach problems and urinary infections. Blackthorn flower infusion is also used to clear the skin of toxins by cleansing the blood and liver. But as always, please, before you use any herbal remedies, inform yourself. And we move on to the divination meaning. So, if you get blackthorn in a reading, it can indicate the actions of fate in your life, something that cannot be avoided, but must be faced and dealt with. Maybe it indicates an unexpected change. Blackthorn gives you the strength to accept and persevere in the face of adversity. The slow berry sweetens after the first trial of winter, the frost. Accepting fate and adversity as a challenge and making it work for you, this can result in an unexpected sweetness in your life. Blackthorn can also herald the presence of the darker deities in your life, such as the Irish Morrigan and Dagda, for example. Again, this is a sign of the spiritual strength and support that is available to you if you pick up the gauntlet. Straif also offers initiation into the mysteries of self-conquest and transcendence. Daring to travel with the darker deities of the Celtic pantheon is a spiritual adventure at the deepest level. Blackthorn opens the pathway to underworld initiation. Blackthorn is the tree which helps us to face the necessity of our own death. In many magical practices, we are encouraged to face death in order to abate our morbid fear of it. On the negative side, blackthorn can indicate a persistently negative, resentful attitude that draws negative experiences to you. Blackthorn can indicate a persistent and morbid fear of death. How you frame your life is how your life plays out. Blackthorn can also be seen as a reminder not to frame your life in negative senses, but reinterpret them in a more positive way to draw more positive experiences. The challenge here is to turn a negative situation into a positive one, and through those challenges we are born anew. When we face up to our own negativity, blackthorn guides us through the darker parts of our personality and helping us to pay off spiritual debts and to accept the inevitability of our own death, which is the one thing on earth of which we can all be certain. Straif, the composite of S for say, the willow, and T for tinne, the holly, show that this is a combination of movement to and from the other world as seen in the willow, together with the energy and the vital force of the holly. The movement of this energy is magic, S to T, the blackthorn. So, and that's it for today. I hope this was helpful. And as always, you can find exactly this text on my homepage if you prefer to read it or you want to watch the videos and read it, so however you like it. Last time I forgot to put it immediately up, so this time I will really remember. And thank you so much for watching. Much love and blessings, and bye bye.